Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me for something today that I am very excited about, here with the new Aston Martin Valkyrie, the hybrid hypercar with a 6.5 litre V12 plus electric motor making 1,160 horsepower, which today I'm going to jump on board to go for a ride being driven by Darren Turner to experience the rawness and ferocity of Aston Martin's first true hypercar. We'll have a full look through all of the details and explore this prototype finished in the full carbon fibre bodywork to take in some of the aero of what is a car that can effectively match the performance of Formula 1 or LMP1 but is somehow a road legal machine. We'll go through it in detail, then take a good look as well at the cabin and go out for a ride to experience Valkyrie. Here it is then, the Aston Martin Valkyrie, the car that I am about to experience and take in quite how raw and extreme this ferocious thing actually is. I first saw it when it was launched. The concept was presented, the AMRB 001, on Aston Martin's factory floor at their HQ in Gaydon a few years back. But this is now VP8, the 8th prototype, the first right-hand drive example, and a car presented in this stunning full exposed carbon fibre bodywork which itself is very much shrink wrapped around the components that lie within. A car that is clean and beautiful on the top surfaces, the traditional Aston Martin shape across the front, but very much about the aerodynamics. Look at this front splitter with the active aero flaps that you have. Look at how open it is and how small the cockpit section is as well, that I'll experience shortly. As we come around, all of the fins and the vanes, all about the absolute in performance, and the same goes as we come around towards the rear, the active flaps here on the spoiler, and this diffuser as well, this double diffuser with the Venturi effect created by these tunnels, which are large enough for a person to literally be lying inside there. It's powered by a mid-engine, a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 from Cosworth, combined with an electric motor for instant torque to give a total output of 1,160 horsepower, 1,000 of which comes from the V12, a very high revving engine, as we're going to be hearing plenty of in just a moment. But let me come and show you what it's actually like inside here as well. There is a button just underneath here. You give that a press, the door pops open, gull-wing doors, and have a look at this cabin. Look inside this car. You can actually have it without even having the carbon shell of the seats. You can have the pads directly onto the tub. You are sat very cosily with the driver. The right-hand drive example, as I said here, very much race-inspired steering wheel. Mirrors are gone, replaced with the cameras and the screens and the displays that you have inside. Of course, this is a prototype finished with the additional displays as well for our testing environment today. But this is about to be something fairly extraordinary. So let's get ready to get geared up to hop on board the Aston Martin Valkyrie. It's time to get ready then, helmet on, of course, to go out in the Aston Martin Valkyrie. This is about to be a little bit surreal. I'm kind of excited. We've been waiting for this car. It's now here. So I need to work out how to climb in. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Darren, how you doing?
All good, ready for you?
Yeah, ready to try and squeeze in next to you. So it's a case basically of standing on the seat and making your way in very, very gently. He says, so.
You've got to mind your leg on that dash.
Yeah, mind all the equipment. There we go. Woo! Let's take a listen to the start. Okay, here we are. This is mad.
First, we're trying to get down this bank here.
Section without tight circuit. We've made it back to where we began then, a few laps here in this, and I've needed a couple of minutes to gather my thoughts because it's an experience unlike no other, and certainly in there is no chance of having a conversation, but I've been driven around by Darren. You've been at the wheel of these. What's it like?
It's incredible. I mean, it's a real privilege to be involved with the whole sort of development side of the car, and to have a car that's been designed by Adrian Newey, Rebel Technologies and Aston Martin, and it's just a beautiful car to even look at. You know, you can spend hours, and I mean literally hours, just walking around and looking at all the detail before you even get a chance to be behind the wheel. So in terms of the driving experience, yeah, there's nothing I've ever driven that's road legal that's even close to this. It feels very much like Grand Prix cars that I've raced or tested before, or LMP cars that I've tested before or raced. So you know, it's got that sheer acceleration and power and performance and downforce that you'd expect from something on a racetrack, let alone with a car that's completely road legal. So it's a great joy to be behind the wheel and to experience all of that technology, the design, the concept and everything that's gone into this program with the Valkyrie, and to be able to sort of get behind the wheel and be one of the lucky few test drivers involved with the program. It's a real honour.
For sure. I can tell you from my experience in the passenger seat, the feeling of 11,000 or so RPM of V12 spine tingling right through you, but also the way that it accelerates, the way that it lifts, the way that it just goes. It's just on the move. This is a performance. I mean, it's downforce beyond most race cars, but it's sheer horsepower figures significantly beyond. It's the delivery of that, I think, that you have to kind of have your wits about you driving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a car that needs your attention when you're driving it. But that said, you know, if you look at when we were at Goodwood a couple of weeks ago with the Festival of Speed, moving around the paddocks, the drivability, low speed, just the general friendliness of the car when you need it to be friendly and usable, moving around the paddocks, getting past people and tight parking spots and everything that you would experience as a road car, it's easy to use. And then when you want to wind it up, it's got everything you could ever wish for in terms of performance. So you're right, you can feel everything about the V12 right behind you. It comes through the chassis, it's hard mounted to the chassis, so you do feel the vibrations, and you can definitely feel the power when you put your foot down and start to accelerate. But the nice thing is the engine's very drivable. It gives you the confidence. You understand where the power's coming in terms of delivery. It doesn't do anything that you'd find as sort of being unexpected with the power delivery. It's very smooth, good torque all the way through, and it gives you confidence to know where you are in terms of the throttle position and as you put the power down with the traction that you have available. So in that terms, it makes it a driver-friendly, user-friendly car. You've got everything. You've got this sheer performance one end of the scale and this sort of nice drivability in the low speed.
I think to get the full capability of the car requires a set of hands like yourself to be at the wheel of this, because I mean, even just the sense I get at in the passenger seat there is that it's a level of acceleration that I would say is alien to me. It's the way that gets moving. It's not like any other road car I've ever been on, because it's so light as well. That's the other thing. Most cars that offer on the road power figures nearing 1200 horsepower would be significantly heavier and not have anything like the grip that this has. It's all to the rear, yet it's just off, it's just gone. And we stand here and we look at it, and the way the body panels tightly wrap around, I think if you literally were to remove the respective panels, you'd be looking at something that would be competing at the top class of racing. As
the bit that still amazes me, we're heavily involved in the development program. There's a lot of time in the workshops as we're going around the world on the testing facilities that we're having to use as part of the development to get it out there to the customers. When you see the car with bodywork removed, and then you realise the packaging exercise that went into creating this car with the V12 6.5 litre 1000 horsepower engine behind you, the gearbox, and trying to get everything inside this skin that is moulded so tight to every component to optimise all the aerodynamics. It's only then when you can see the detail on the inside do you realise what a engineering feat this is, and the amount of design, thought process, and how clever they've all been in terms of the design team to make this the package that it is. It's small, the car is small, and that's what gives it its performance.
It is actually quite surprisingly small when you see it just moving around, in terms of height, width, length, all sorts, but that is because it is so tightly packaged. Well, that was an epic experience. Thank you ever so much.
Absolute pleasure.
I'm going to be remembering that one for quite a while. What else can I say about this then? What a phenomenal ride. The Aston Martin Valkyrie is honestly unlike anything else. There's so much to this, and the more time you spend around it, the more you do notice. And if I talk just for a moment about effectively where your feet are, if you think about this, the tub is so tightly and compactly created that you're sitting with your heels well above your hips onto these pads inside the tub. You do have the backrest. This is actually optional if you need a little bit more space. But have a look down here underneath. Look at how the cabin comes right around all of the carbon fibre components. Obviously this is all the aerodynamic work that's been done, and the way it sits, almost this teardrop type shape in the centre of the car, with the body panels smoothly presented around the outside of it, and back here the radical design as well of the aero on the diffuser and how open this is, but running on road legal Sport Cup 2 tyres. Of course, this is a road car, believe it or not. Probably the ultimate road car that will ever exist. This is, really something breathtaking to behold. The level of performance, the craziness of it, but here it is, shortly into production for customers to receive cars in the not too distant future. Well, for today then, what a ride here in the Aston Martin Valkyrie. I can't believe that happened. What an awesome ride. So thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I appreciate your support an awful lot. But that's it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.